Hi, I'm Rick Carfagna with the Ohio Chamber of Commerce, and this is the Market Minute. Well, summer is here, and in an odd number year in Ohio, that can only mean one thing. The 2-year state operating budget is finally done. At over 3,100 pages and $60.23 billion, the budget contains numerous appropriations and policy measures. But what does it all mean for Ohio's economic outlook? Let's take a look, starting with taxation. Perhaps the most notable of budget provisions is the phase-down of the state's income tax rate from its current 3 rates to a flat rate of 2.75% in 2026. The legislature also passed significant reforms to the state's property tax system in an effort to address skyrocketing property tax burdens endured by Ohioans and the business community. Those property tax measures, however, were vetoed by Governor DeWine, although the House has already convened to override at least one of the vetoes. Stay tuned for more developments on the property tax front heading into the fall. One of the biggest measures that the Ohio Chamber pushed for in this budget is greater childcare access and affordability, and the state didn't disappoint. The budget keeps the governor's Childcare Choice voucher program in place with $200 million to help thousands of working families afford childcare for 20,000 more children. The state also funded 2 new chamber-supported childcare initiatives. The Childcare Cred program creates a voluntary cost-sharing program among employers, employees, and the state, while the Childcare Recruitment and Mentorship Grant program will help generate more in-home childcare options, especially in rural areas. On the tourism front, there are several commitments in the state budget to make Ohio a destination state to attract visitors and encourage relocation. Through both equipping Tourism Ohio to market us as the heart of it all and the forthcoming construction of the domed stadium in Brook Park, Ohio will be able to attract year-round activity, more major entertainment events, and capitalize on tourism spending. The budget also preserves critical economic development tools to help our state continue to lure more major economic development opportunities. For example, a sizable portion of the All Ohio Future Fund was kept in place to help replenish our state's inventory of sites for future mega projects. Already, the State Controlling Board has awarded these funds to develop sites in Montgomery, Lorain, Coshocton, and Muskingum counties. Other valuable development tools continued or increased under the budget include the Brownfield Remediation Program, the Transformational Mixed-Use Development Program, the State Historic Tax Credit, and the Opportunity Zone Tax Credit. All of these make a big difference in transforming land and buildings to bring jobs and prosperity to communities big and small. When it comes to workforce, one of the biggest challenges is the availability of housing. Unfortunately, Ohio's housing shortage denies many Ohioans the ability to live in reasonable proximity to where they work. This impacts employers' access to a stable supply of skilled labor. Thankfully, the budget maintains or adds important mechanisms to grow Ohio's housing stock from single-family homes to multifamily rentals to senior housing. These measures include continuations of both the Ohio Housing Trust Fund and Ohio's Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program. 2 new ambitious ideas include the Residential Economic Development District Program, which incentivizes local governments to streamline zoning and encourage housing construction, and the Residential Development Revolving Loan Program to fund housing infrastructure development in rural areas of the state. The budget also provides local protections for housing development against referendums that either throttle or outright block much-needed construction. Switching gears, we know that if we aren't properly educating today's youth, then we can't provide for the labor needs of tomorrow. That's why we're happy to see this budget devote nearly $1 billion more into Ohio's public school system, including funds to add computer science programming into the nearly 40% of public high schools lacking these technology courses. From career centers to community colleges to our 4-year universities, substantial investments also continue to be made, enabling all post-secondary education and job training opportunities. Key among these is the reauthorization of the Chamber-supported Governor's Merit Scholarship Program, guaranteeing scholarships of $5,000 per year for 4 years to the top 5% of high school graduates. We at the Ohio Chamber commend Governor Mike DeWine, the Ohio Senate, and the Ohio House of Representatives for passing a pro-growth state operating budget that confronts workforce challenges, makes Ohio a destination state, reforms our tax systems, and preserves critical economic development tools. We look forward to building upon these efforts to keep our state a safe, vibrant, and welcoming place. For the Market Minute, and then some, I'm Rick Carfagna.